Hey everybody. Um, I am recording this very off the cuff. I just woke up. It is not even noon. It's 11:52 where I am, and I have my glasses on. And I wanted to record this basically entirely impromptu. I did a previous cut, but I found out information in the middle of it, and I wanted to uh, start a new cut. This morning at Activision Blizzard, there were 1,900 people laid off. This is following last week's 530-ish people at Riot who were laid off. This means, looking at videogamelayoffs.com, that the total for this year in estimated layoffs, I believe, is about 5,600, which is over half of the amount of the estimated total layoffs of last year, which was 10,500. Along with the about 1,900 people that are estimated to have been laid off, the Project Odyssey, which was Blizzard's unannounced survival game, has been canned entirely. And Mike Ybarra, who I believe was the president of Blizzard, has stepped down and left the company. I cannot really put into words how angry and sad this makes me. For those of you who don't know, I mention it a lot. I am a recent graduate. I graduated from Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute with a degree in game simulation arts and sciences, which is basically just game development. I spent 4.5 years at school. About 2.5 of that was spent cramming the game development curriculum to get a degree in this, because I am so passionate about video games and I want to work in the industry one day, and I have tried and tried, and I'm going to keep trying. This is not going to prevent me from trying, but I've tried and I haven't found my way in yet, and events like these are the most soul-crushing, depressing things that you could possibly imagine as somebody looking for their first gig in the industry. Not only because, these are now positions that no longer exist and that these people are out of a job now, so these people are going to be competing with you. Not only is that extremely scary and saddening, but it is also just rage-inducing that these people's jobs, that your job potentially is completely void, that you have no connection to your job title, that you have no connection to anybody at the company, that everybody is just a pawn on a chessboard to be knocked over whenever they feel like it. I believe I saw as well that Microsoft made $3 trillion last year. And I know that Xbox is only like 10% of Microsoft's total business scheme. But $3 trillion, I don't see in any universe how, with all of the employees around the planet that probably work for Microsoft at high wages and all the high-tech stuff that they make, that $3 trillion in profit is not enough, that you need to lay off these people. 2,000 roughly people. It is insane to me. It is not an ordeal of business, okay? It is not a necessity riot tried to make the excuse that it was a necessity. It is not a necessity. When you see layoffs like this happening at a studio, at a company that is making $3 trillion a year, that is making $225 million profit off of a game that they barely even support anymore. When they are making those numbers, it is not about business. It is not about making necessary business decisions. It is because they are not making as much money as they want to be making. That is it. That is simply what it is. Because there are people who could take cuts in their paycheck. There are always people that can take cuts in their paycheck. Just remember that. There are always people that are making millions and millions of dollars a year, whose salaries are dozens and dozens and dozens of employees that could always take a cut, and they never, ever do. Never. They never take a fucking cut. The part that I had to sorry, this is so loosey-goosey. The part that I wanted to re-record because of new information that I got is regarding somebody who I actually know who works at Activision Blizzard. I'm going to keep this as vague as I possibly can because I don't want to affect them. I have no doubt that I won't affect them. But I'm new to this stuff. I don't want to be spilling beans when beans don't need to be spilled. So I'm just going to be extremely vague and say that I knew somebody who works at Activision Blizzard, and fortunately I learned halfway through recording the last bit that this person still has a job, and I am extremely happy that this person still has a job because they are a very wonderful, kind person who's helped me a lot in game development and job advice and just being a really cool person to talk to in the industry. And I consider them to be a friend at this point. And I'm just glad that they still have a job, that they still have a foundation to stand on. Because I would be very, very upset. I'd be very, very upset if they didn't. I won't say anything beyond that. And not that there's a lot to say beyond that, but yeah, I'm very glad that person is still there. But I am possibly that does not outweigh the 2,000 people who I don't know who got laid off, who don't have that convenience, and who are going to be looking for jobs. I am just depressed. I hate to put it that way, but when you graduate from school and you expect with a degree and a decent portfolio to find something, to find work so that you can be independent and make things that you're passionate about, that you can be proud of, to see in less than a month, in 25 days, that the industry has more than halved the total amount of layoffs than the entire past year, which is historical for its layoffs. There's nothing more depressing. I'm living back home right now, looking for employments, and I might have to get a job that I just completely hate so that I can pay rent, if I do have to pay rent at some point. I'm going to have to continue to work with people that are still in school on games and projects that we desperately need because this industry should not be as cutthroat, just brutally, primitively competitive as it is. In these layoffs, not only do they make it more brutally competitive and soulless and inhumane, but they just ruin people's lives. Last year, the layoff that hit me the most was Bungie's, because I started making Destiny content. I've put well over 4,000 hours in the franchise as a whole. I have tried numerous times to get journalism jobs with Destiny to be denied several times, despite my expertise and experience making successful content for Destiny. And I had this idealistic view of Bungie as this sort of American dream, house upon a hill version of a video game company that did charity work and had clubs for minority groups and stood out for, stuck their neck out for their employees and paid well and did all this stuff. And with the Bungie layoffs and the hijinks ensuing those Bungie layoffs, my trust in there being any honest game company was just shattered. Just completely and utterly shattered. I was depressed. My idealistic future of one day working for Bungie, of doing Destiny content, of making Destiny articles, of somehow weaseling my way in, just gone. I have no interest in working there anymore. I have no interest in working at Activision Blizzard. I have no interest in working at any of these companies, large or small. I think the developers behind Outriders laid off people. There have been so many layoffs I can't even recall. I don't know what new talent is supposed to think at this point. I have known some absurdly talented people, some of the best artists and programmers and managers that I have ever had the pleasure of working with at RPI. And they're still in school, but I have no doubt in my mind that they're going to be in the same exact boat as I am, despite being way more talented than I am. That they, in spite of all of their talent, in spite of being in a city with a very well-known and renowned game studio, several actually, will have extreme troubles finding employment, that they will not be able to find a job because there are graduate students who I knew, also extremely talented people, that still struggle to find employment, who are graduate students and TAs because they could not find employment. This industry, for all of the insane amounts of money that it makes, it is the most profitable entertainment industry on the planet. For all of the money that it makes, should not be laying off this many people. It is fucking absurd. It is inhumane. I have no idea what we should be feeling as people who aspire to work in this industry and who are actually working in this industry. These people who went to work happy about this acquisition and happy that Bobby Kotick wouldn't be hovering over their shoulder and limiting their creativity and perpetuating culture of workplace sexual assault and I have no idea. Um, I don't know what much more I have to say. I feel like I've said everything that I possibly can. Um, I just hope that the people who were affected today uh, land as softly as they can. I don't give a fuck about severance. Severance is bullshit. Um, it is just another excuse for companies to look better on the out. And I don't care. I don't care about severance. I don't want to hear about fucking severance. I heard about it enough with the riot thing. I just hope that these people find more jobs, that they find more stable jobs than what they had before. I'm gonna go take a shower. I'm gonna get dressed, and I'm gonna not apply to any jobs today because I'm too fucking depressed over this whole thing. So, yeah, that's the end of the video. Bye.